So power amplifiers. These are large signal amplifiers. Large signal amplifiers. Mainly characterized by heat sink surfaces. So they're divided into two. They are different from voltage amplifiers in that their gain, their current gain, in that their current gain, in that the current gain is generally high. So can have differences between voltage amplifiers and power amplifiers. We have a table for that case. Number one, the transistor, a large gain of about 100 here the transistor have a current gain of about 20 to 50. We can have our number 2. The input resistance required is low compared to the output resistance. The input resistance required is high compared to the output resistance. Now, third difference here. The physical size is small. The physical size of the transistor is small, and here the physical size of the transistor is large. So classes of power amplifiers. There are basically three classes of power amplifiers. Roman 1 is class A, Roman 2 is class B, and Roman 3 is class C. We start with class A. When you're talking about class A, is that the bias of the transistor is such that it allows the entire AC input signal to go through the transistor, and therefore it has greater heating. It produces more heat than any other class of the amplifier. So it is an amplifier in which it's an amplifier in which the transistor bias, in which the transistor bias is such that it allows the entire AC signal. It allows the entire AC signal amplitude. It allows the entire AC signal amplitude to be conducted in the active region. We can have a sketch of this. We can have a sketch of this. So if this is try and produces the so that we have this as our DC. This is active region. How this being conducted here. This is the input signal. This is the output signal. Now describe the characteristics of class A amplifier.
Number one, the output current
flows
during the entire cycle.
During the entire cycle.
During the entire cycle of the AC
input signal.
Number two, the AC power output per active
device
is smaller than that of
class B. Per active device is smaller than that of class B.
And that of class B
or C amplifier or class C amplifier.
Number three, the output waveform is
Almost similar is almost similar to the input signal. It's almost similar
to the input signal. Since the transformer
operates similar to the input signal, since the transformer operates on the linear region.
And lastly, number four, the maximum power
possible
possible
for efficiency is approximately is approximately 25%. Class B power amplifier. So with this kind of amplifier, the bias is such that it's able
to operate at half the cycle
of the active area.
So it is an amplifier
in which
the transistor bias
and the amplitude, which the transistor bias and
the transistor bias and the amplitude of the
input signal
are such that the output
signal of the input signal are such that the output signal
flows for only
one half, flows for only one half of the entire cycle.
You can have a
Sketch of this also. You know how the characteristics of class B? Characteristics of class B.
number 1. The output current flows for
Only flows for only one half
flows for only one half of
the entire cycle.
number 2. The transistor dissipates no
Power
The transistor dissipates no power for zero input.
signal.
Zero input signal.
However, with increase in amplitude, of the input signal,
The power
also increases.
number 3. The average current drawn
By the circuit, by the average current drawn by
the circuit in class B is
smaller. The average current drawn by the circuit is in class B is smaller compared 2, class
A.
And lastly, number 4, the amplifier has an overall efficiency of about 78.5%. So we can have a diagram of class B, push, pull,
Class B, push.
pull, amplifier. So we are going to sketch this. So when you look at a class B amplifier, we have got two types of transistors. So this normally an NPN, and this also two are transistors NPN, and this is current flow. And the input is such that when point A and point B, and point A is more positive with respect to point B, Q1 will conduct. And also when point B is more positive with respect to point A, Q2 will conduct. The net effect is that you have got the output signals conducting being coupled through the transformer at the output and
to the load.
So because of that characteristic of the transistor switching in terms of the bias, sometimes they go off before the next switching has taken place, and it results in a crossover distortion. So we need to have a sketch and explain the operation of this so that you understand these are the input signal and the output signal. This DC is meant for stability and also to block any signals from flowing to the conductor directly.
Because it's a DC.
Or you can have the construction of that. Construction of class B, push-pull amplifier. It consists of two center tap transformer, center tapped. Two center tap transformer, T1 and T2, where T1 is the input transformer, while T2 is the transformer at the output. It is also connected to two NPN transistors, which are biased when the signal is greater than 0.7 volts. Greater than 0.7 volts. The voltages present on the two transformers are out of phase. The voltages present at the terminals of the transformer T1, i.e. terminal A and B, are out of phase. By 180 degrees. So therefore, the transistor switching is also out of phase by 180 degrees. You can have the operation of class B . The first point you need to know is that what are the conditions when there's no input, and what are the conditions where there's an input, and what is the behavior of the transistors. So the first point is that
when there is no input signal,
when there is no input signal, transistors Q1 and Q2 are at cutoff. Hence, no current is go. Hence, no current
flows.
And so the heat dissipation is zero. Current flows, and so the heat dissipation is 0. So during the positive half cycle, during the positive half cycle of the input signal, the transistor Q1 conducts while Q2 is at cut off. Therefore, the output signal coupled to the load, the output signal coupled to the load is half of the input signal during the negative half cycle of the input signal, transistor Q1 goes to cut off, while Q2 conducts. The output 2 is coupled to the load, through the transformer T2. Finally, the two currents from the conduction by the transistor Q1 and Q2 are combined and made to flow through the load resistor. So we can have advantages of class B push-pull. I have one. Efficiency is greater than class A. About 78.5. Number 2, the use of class B push-pull amplifier eliminates
even order harmonics. Even order harmonics in the AC
input cycle.
Number 3, the circuit gives more output power
Per device. More output power
per device for a given amount
of distortion. More output power per device for a given amount of distortion. Lastly,
Number 4, there is no DC component in the output signal.
there is no DC component in the output signal. Crossover distortion in
Crossover distortion
in class B push-pull amplifier. We're going to have the crossover distortion using a diagram, and because of the switching of the transistor, this is demonstrated using diagram. So I'll draw the diagrams. So this is the input signal. I shall have
the output signal.
So when you look at this diagram very well, we're going to realize that at these points, these are the points we refer to as crossover distortion. And at this point, this is the conduction of transistor, maybe Q1, and this is Q2. And the repetition goes back to Q1. When you have the transistor in this manner, this transistor will conduct until half of the input AC is on. But at the second point, because of the biasing of the transistor, there will be some delay for us to overcome the barrier voltage. So this value, this point here at which the transistor goes off, is mainly due to the barrier voltage, and it must be overcome by the input signal. And therefore, there is a delay in switching of the next half cycle of the AC input. Because of that, we result in what we refer to as crossover distortion. And for us to eliminate this crossover distortion, then we need to use two different types of transistors. And maybe for this case, we are going to use the NPN and the PNP. And we shall be able to eliminate this crossover in the next switching. So that's what makes us a crossover distortion. So we're going to have something on it. The transistors are biased out, cut off, and therefore the applied input signal must exceed the barrier voltage, must exceed the barrier voltage for the transistor to switch, brackets, whatever, sometimes as saturate. To eliminate the crossover distortion, then it is recommended to use two different types of transistors. I.e., NPN transistor and PNP transistors. Power amplifier. So with the class C power amplifier is that the biasing is far much down below the cutoff, and therefore only a small portion of the input signal is going to be conducted across the output terminals. So you can, it is tuned to a sinusoidal
It's tuned to a sinusoidal frequency because
of this fact. And because of this fact, the amplifier is also referred to
as tuned
amplifier. Or narrow band amplifier. So if you were to sketch this, you have to sketch. This is 25 gas cut off. So characteristics of class C amplifier.
The output current flows only during part of the
Positive half cycle. During part of the input, part of the positive input, part of the positive input of the half
cycle.
Number 2,
The output signal does not
resemble does not resemble the input signal.
cannot resemble the input signal because it consists of narrow pulses.
Does not resemble the input signal because it consists of narrow pulses.
And lastly, number 3, the efficiency
Efficiency is about 98%. About 98.7%.